Woohoo! And we're live once again on another Tuesday. Boy, it feels like it's been a while, and it has. And I have my special co pilot here today who loves all things aviation. So we have the LinkedIn guru, Jeff Young. Hello, hello, hello. So our topic today is going to be about LinkedIn, what does it really mean to us? But before we dive in, Jeff, can you briefly introduce yourself, tell people who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. Thank you, Gillian. First of all, thank you for doing this again, bringing me back. It's such an honor to be the first back. People have been talking about this, and they've been talking about this is the new season of LinkedIn Live with Gillian. So I'm honored to be the first. Namaste. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all the folks out there. My name is Jeff Young, and I am the LinkedIn guru. I don't try to put on airs when I use that word or to describe myself. That's actually how my network calls me, a guru. And if you look up guru in the dictionary, you see the word teacher. And that's exactly why I love the fact that it equates to that, because of the fact that I'm a LinkedIn teacher. Been doing this for about almost 16 years now, which constitutes about 1,000 different free seminars. I'm a free seminar kind of guy. But that's another reason why I've got the boy in blue, or the last son of Krypton, behind me back here, because I also sometimes introduce myself by saying, hi, I'm Jeff Young. I'm a teacher. What's your superpower? Okay? That's my spiel, and I'm sticking to it.
I love it. I love it. And sometimes you get all crazy and you rip off your shirt.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Which is great, which is great.
Yeah.
So we wanted to kind of kick off this open-ended topic today. Usually, sometimes Jeff and I come on and we do a lot, like a lesson, almost like a little master class. But we wanted to kind of, we're thinking kind of it's back to school after Labor Day. That's when school started when we were youngsters. We always went back to school after. So today would be the first day of school. So it's the first day of LinkedIn Gillian, LinkedIn University today with us. And we thought, LinkedIn can mean a lot of things for a lot of people based on what you're here on the platform doing. And what we want to do is actually call out to you guys and say, what does it mean to you? Like this is a community here. So we want to hear from you as well. So put those little thinking caps on, because we'd love to hear your thoughts as well. But Jeff, kick us off, the king of the acronyms. What does LinkedIn mean to you?
Okay. Well, if people actually are normal, normally people will actually look at the comments. Some people actually look at all the comments. If they look at all the comments, they're going to see one of the answers that I made, because I actually asked one of the people in the comments what their favorite thing. I asked Gigi, okay, what her favorite thing was, and she said, well, it's not just one. And I said, yeah, I would agree with you. And so I actually have done this before. As a matter of fact, it's been one of my most, this is what LinkedIn means to me. And I used the 8 letters of LinkedIn in order to describe it. Okay. So very briefly, okay, the L is for learning. I'm learning something new all the time on LinkedIn. Okay. The I is for inspiration. There are so many people out here that inspire me, including you, Gillian, and a whole lot of people who do this for the love of it. You can just tell you're not doing this, as a business. You're doing it because you love doing it. Okay. The N in LinkedIn actually stands for news to me. Now that's news in terms of I don't watch a lot of news that's on television or etc. because it's all bad news. Okay, on LinkedIn at least it's good news, even though some of the news that I found out about not too long ago was the fact that there was this hurricane going through Florida. And that was but that gave me a chance to network with the people as well. So I kept up with the news that way as well. So LIN. K stands for kindness. I love the quote that you always use. If you can be anything you want to be kind. There are so many kind people and so many wonderful people on LinkedIn. Okay. E, okay, well, it actually could stand for 2 things, but I'm normally talking about it from the standpoint of excellence. Okay. E is for excellence because there is a lot of excellent information and a lot of excellent people out here. But you can also use it in combination for the next 2 letters as well. EDI, equity, diversity, inclusion. And there are so many champions of how to be diverse and inclusive out here on LinkedIn. I learned from a very good person a long time ago that was hearing impaired, how to do things that were talking about camel case and Pascal case on LinkedIn hashtags. So those three things are there's a reason why they kind of start and finish up the word, LinkedIn. And then the N, I talked about this one before. The N in LinkedIn stands for networking. Networking, 24/7, 365. It's just that kind of place. So that's just scratching the surface. That's just, I feel like I should be singing, from the Sound of Music, raindrops and roses and whiskers on, because these are a few of my favorite things.
I love it. I love it. I'm in my head. I'm thinking of Ryan Anderson, and I'm thinking he's going, I'm going to do a spoof on this. It's like he can do it. Sound of Music, favorite things of LinkedIn. And I think those are great. Those are great, Jeff. And I love that you kind of wrapped it up in the whole LinkedIn acronym, put a little bow on it. And that is just brilliant. That is just brilliant. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to the comments before I talk about what my favorite things of LinkedIn is, because I want to include the audience. And so that's what I'm going to leap to right now.
Friends out here already.
And we've got Kevin D. Turner in the front row, who is one of the things that I love about LinkedIn, because
Bob Uecker.
He's just an amazing person who just gives and gives and gives. And my goodness, we could not keep track of everything that's going on in LinkedIn, all the changes, without Kevin at the helm. He's driving the boat here and he's giving us the passenger list of what's going on. Captain Stubing here. So he says, I'm in the front row. And then we have our next buddy in the house. We've got Debbie, rock and roll, ready for a great hour. What's only half an hour, but love you too. Might seem like an hour. Hopefully not. It should just fly by. Love you too. Hello from sunny Florida. And we're happy to hear that it is in sunny Florida. That is good. That's good. People said, we missed you. That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you very much. I missed you guys too. We've got Brenda in the house today, coming in from Metro Detroit. So excited to see you both live. Thank you, Brenda, for being here today. We appreciate that. We've got Marcia. What's happening? Gillian, and front of the class, Jeff Young. And we have Niraj. Greetings from Northern Ireland. Love to see you, Gillian and Jeff. Oh, I love it. We're across the pond now, and we're going further. Look at this. Now we're in the Middle East. We got Stella in the house today, who is staying up. I'm sure she's in her PJs because it's late at night there. Hello, Gillian and Jeff and everyone else. Oh, that's just so awesome. So we've got Oman in the house today, and we have Catherine Ledger in the house. Greetings from sunny UK. Look at that. Sunny Florida, sunny UK. The world is full of sunshine today. I love that. So that's really great. And this means we have, of course, UK in the house today as well. So that is amazing. I love it. And Stella says, Jeff is a guru in the true sense of the word.
Some folks call me Guruji as well, which is another word for the same thing. I love that one too.
I love that. So I'm going to share what my favorite thing is. And it's all those people in the comments. That's my favorite thing on LinkedIn. It is the people. And and just for the audio podcast, I am holding up this little drawing that my buddy Tina sent from Belgium. And what's in this drawing is a picture of Gillian and Tina and Jeff and Stephen. And we had a conversation on Zoom. We get together on Zoom, and we have to accommodate all these time zones every time we have a conversation. But that was the thing of just getting together and talking about our experiences personally, professionally, what's going on in our lives. And that to me is the magic of LinkedIn. And what it really means to me is, I was thinking about this in the shower because that's where I do all my best thinking. And I was thinking that once this is back to school today, right? And when we were younger, we met people through school. And when you stopped going to school, you didn't meet people as much. You meet people at the grocery store and, going around. Maybe if you go to a job, you meet people on the job. But like, how do you broaden your network? LinkedIn allowed me to broaden my network. I wasn't born with a network. I started LinkedIn with 30 people, and most of them I didn't even really know. They were like people I worked with years ago. And now it's like I have like 9,000 people in my network. And I love that they're all over the world. Some are friends, some are clients, some are colleagues, so many different levels. So that's what I like about LinkedIn is the growth and community.
The connections you make are the best part of the entire community. I got to admit, I guarantee you, Gillian, that every time you do a live, you're touching at least 12 different time zones. Okay, and I'm not talking about, sure, maybe not all not 12 in terms of during the live itself, but as far as the replay is concerned, that replay is going to go for the next 24 to 48 hours, and there's going to be 24 time zones. And within all of those time zones, those people and the community that's out there, you talk about, our special friends being, Stephen Quinn and Tina, et cetera. I got to tell you, this is a part of what LinkedIn means to me as well, is because I've actually thrown people in their direction. I've given them referrals. I mean, Tina, as an example, is going to be in a week or so on September 14th, going to be doing another session with me as my guest to tell the folks in a local organization that I support called Jewish Family Services how a recruiter actually looks at that person from a recruiter perspective. Only she can give that kind of thing to job seekers. So I've set it up so that she and I can collaborate and do that. And as a matter of fact, I just got a voice message from Stephen Quinn this morning, as a matter of fact, that was thanking me for a referral that I gave him because someone in Dubai had come to me and asked me for help, which is an interesting concept. That many times zones away, they've asked me for help. I went, excuse me, I know a guy in Dubai. Oh, yeah, I'm a poet and didn't know it. But at any rate, so it's just an easy way for us to make that networking really count.
I love that. I love that. And it's interesting too, because you talked about the Jewish Child and Family Services and the presentations that you give for them. And you have done many, many, many. And here's just a little push, a little tie back to you in that they came to me and asked me if I would shout out to my network and get everyone to contribute. What does Jeff Young mean to you? They wanted to, so they turned it the other way. Instead of what does LinkedIn mean to you? What does Jeff Young mean to you? And 3 words, they wanted to make a word cloud. And, I put out the word and everybody put out the word and out it went. And they created this beautiful word cloud. And again, this is all about community and how things happen. And, and I was like at Niagara Falls, I was like up in Toronto and I'm like texting people and sending it. And it was just like so exciting to see that. So that was lovely. That was lovely, Jeff. And I hope you wear that word cloud with you forever because it was just amazing.
Yes. Right. Well, I've got it. It's now a part of my content because I celebrated with it.
Yep. So I've lost my place in the comments. So I'm not smooth at this anymore, guys. Okay. So we have Mariana. I'm gonna butcher her name. Marina. What a privilege to have 2 presenters of such caliber. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. We have Felipe. Always great to see you both, Gillian and Jeff. Woohoo. And we have, I love this because in our lives, we have people talking to other people. So we have Niraj who is talking with Stella. So that's awesome as well. Marcia always calls this University of Gillian Whitney. So we really are back to school today. Catherine is here. She's excited to be learning from you too. So that's a good part of what LinkedIn can mean to a lot of people is the learning resources. And we can learn from LinkedIn and classes and other people and all sorts of things. like you said, Jeff, you can get your news from here as well. You can find out what's going on in your industry. So there are just so many things that we can be learning and getting. Hello, is it Yash? Yash, he's saying hello. So that's wonderful. LinkedIn News is one of my news sources. So that's awesome. That's awesome because it lets you know what's going on in the world, and you just kind of see it over there on the side, and it's like, oh wow, they just voted that in, or they voted that out, or what's happening today? What's happening today? So here's Stella says, LinkedIn to me changed my life professionally and continues to do so. LinkedIn has enabled friendships that I know would not have happened. You too are amongst those friends. Isn't that nice? That's so
Totally
nice.
true. Yes.
And literally Stella would not be where she is. And I mean geographically. Stella would
Yeah.
not be where she is without LinkedIn, because
Yep.
she got to travel because of her post, of a post she did. Somebody saw her,
Well,
which snowballed and
didn't she start in Oman, go back to the UK, and then go back to Oman a second time, I think?
she's been back and forth. She's been back
a lot
and
of times,
forth a
yeah.
couple of times,
Yep.
and just amazing things. And she did it before the pandemic, and then she was there during the pandemic, and then she came back, and so she's been all over the place. And again, and Stella and I are both, just to give a shout out. Stella and I are both a member of it's an unofficial club, the Ladies of LinkedIn. And there are just so many wonderful women in that group that just started on Clubhouse during the pandemic. And, they get together and, we support each other. We have like a back channel DM, and it's all totally, like somebody just, the granddaughter had a baby, or her daughter had a baby. We all cheered for the baby, so those are just all those, again, wonderful things of, here's a bunch of women supporting women who all just have a common interest of, we all love LinkedIn. So it's just amazing. So Jeff, what else have you got for us? What else have you got for us?
Well, one of the things is, obviously we talked about networking, but it's like, well, who can you network? How can you network? And the funny thing is, I was also in another, not DM conversation, but comments conversation with another person who commented on, I think, somebody else's post. Who actually, I think it might have been Debbie's post when she reposted one of mine.
Mm.
And I talked about not being a networking scoundrel, and knowing the people that you actually network with. But they brought up a comment which I hadn't heard of in a while, but I've heard of it before. Have you ever heard of the term Dunbar's number?
Only through you. So explain that to people, because I think it's so important.
Dunbar's number is a number that relates to the number of people that you can actually have as real friends. Okay.
Mm.
So it's talking about the fact that, and it's psychologically based. Okay. A gentleman by the name of Dunbar, actually is the person who came up with this, a learned person from academia. But the number signifies that because of the constraints of time and the constraints of our brain, the amount of people that you can keep track of, you can actually only have about 150 to 250 real friends. Now, whatever that is defined to you, okay? But I agree with that number to a certain extent, because I can understand there's only a certain amount of time in a day, and et cetera. But if you take that number and you take it much farther, your network is a whole lot more than 150 to 250 people, because you can talk to those people over a huge amount of time. As an example, the story that I related to you earlier in DMs was the fact that there used to be a friend of mine who lived in Columbus and has since moved away, and I've been connected with him for about 10 years now. He's since moved away to Topeka, Kansas. Now, that's not the end of the world, but I have heard it's a short bus ride from there. Okay. Sorry, Topeka, and sorry, Russ. I don't mean to talk about your hometown that way, but my point being is that the cool part about it was that I just got a DM from him yesterday saying, wow, it's been a long time. I really enjoy your posts. I was just through Columbus not too long ago, because he was on his way to the East Coast taking his kid to Seton Hall to go to college. Okay. Now, unfortunately, he didn't get to stop, and we didn't get to share a cup of coffee while he was there. But that DM meant so much to me, because we've been connected that long. And he said, I'm still learning a lot from your posts. So no matter who the person is, connection or even just a follower, the point of it is you can make a difference in somebody's life just by putting stuff out there for them to see and giving them that information. And they don't even have to interact. He's practically never interacted on a single one of my posts, but he just interacted with me, and that's what counts the most to me, because that meant the world to me that he said.
Oh, that's a beautiful story. That's a beautiful story. And it just goes to show you that, we are making a difference. And sometimes it feels like we're doing things in a vacuum. And I know that, like, for instance, I do the podcast. So I take my LinkedIn lives and I repurpose them as a podcast. Well, you don't get comments in a podcast. It's like you put it out there and boom, it's out there in the world. And you just wonder if anybody's listening. I just wonder and you hope. And I actually had somebody that sent me a DM last week and they just said, I enjoyed your Down Under series, because I took a month off from lives and I was going to just take a whole month off and not do anything. But there's a part of me that just could not do that. I just could not do that. So I went, okay, I'm going to take this opportunity, think outside the box. And I got all my Australian buddies, not even all of them, just a few. And I got some of my Australian and New Zealand buddies lined up, and they can't come on my live. They can't come on 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. They're asleep. So I did that series and it went so well. And people are still going back and listening because this was a whole new part of the world that, like, they'd never heard of these people before because it's just not part of their network. So it was so exciting. But let me just give one takeaway. When I had Karen Tisdale on the show and we were talking, and we were talking about emojis and using emojis on your profile, because that is Karen's specialization, is doing your LinkedIn profile. And she talks about using emojis. And I remembered as she was talking that I had read a Google article when I just started LinkedIn. So I was like a newbie with like 25 connections. And I read this article by this woman, and she was talking about using emojis on your profile. And I realized it was Karen. And I felt starstruck because I went, I knew nobody then. I wouldn't even have been able to write to Karen and say, this is a good article. Like, I was such a newbie. And here I was interviewing her on my podcast. And it was just, and now somebody's saying they enjoyed the series and Karen's a part of that. I felt like, wow, that's really kind of going full circle with what we can do in the world. It's awesome.
Well, the I in LinkedIn for Inspire, again, you're one of the people that inspire me because you are always so willing to try new things. Okay, we're even trying a couple of new things today in terms of doing a local recording, and in addition to in addition to the StreamYard recording. So I think that you're always going to improve because you have that attitude. And what amazed me about your Down Under series is that I was actually connected or following every single one of those people that you put on that series. I already had Zoom calls with the majority of those people, probably 5 out of all 6 of them. Okay. So of those people that you put out there, I already have been connected to them. I don't know how long, because I don't remember how long, but it's been a while. And most of those people are even before COVID. So that's again, COVID. Again, to me, COVID is always going to have a silver lining, because COVID took me to an even more global perspective than I ever was as far as networking is concerned, meaning I've got more opportunities, meaning I'm learning a lot more. And it wasn't because of COVID that you and I met. I mean, you and I met actually after COVID. I think we're connected during the time frame around April, or so, when it started. But that had nothing to do with anything except the fact that we knew we were going to have to network virtually, and then so we decided to do so. And then we just decided to do that on a regular basis, along with you, me sometimes, you, me, 2 or 3 other people sometimes, etc. Okay. Again, that's where all those opportunities come from.
I love that. I love that. So let's get on back to the other people who are here with us today. So we have Catherine. She's saying K is for kindness. Ooh, we have 2 of the kindest people talking to us right now. The service you give people is so generous too. Thank you, Catherine. And I must say, kindness is like, it's the best currency that we can give people on LinkedIn. And I know, I think I heard this from you, Jeff. I'm pretty sure I heard it from you, that if you know somebody who's looking for a job, looking for work, the kindest thing that you can do is give them a recommendation. Go to their profile, go and look at their skills, endorse their skills if you're qualified enough to know that yes, they can do those skills. But if you know that person, give them a recommendation, give them a review, because that's free money, folks. Like, you don't have to spend any money doing that. You're spending a little bit of time, but I'm thinking that's one of the kindest things you can do. Can you think of another kind thing we can do on LinkedIn, Jeff?
Well, I think one of the things that my way of spreading kindness is to sometimes create a hashtag for someone. So ever since I've known Catherine, I've always been using the hashtag Catherine. Kindness is Catherine. Okay, because that's always the way that it works to me. And putting those people together like that and introducing one another, the recommendations bit is something that has kind of lost its way a little bit on LinkedIn lately, because I don't see a lot of people doing it as much as they used to. But to me, that's one of the ways of being kind, is because my philosophy on LinkedIn is to give a recommendation without expecting another one in return. And it's also, my philosophy is that if I'm being kind, I'm giving 2 recommendations for every one that I receive. And that's always been my goal as well.
I think that's good. And probably not to overthink it, because I think that's sometimes what we do. We do that with posting, we do that with recommendation, we do that with so many things where you just think, oh, it's got to be this big glowing thing that's, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, just speak from the heart, even if you just have one thing that you want to address. And if you want to give somebody a recommendation and you feel a little stuck, just say, I want to give you a recommendation. Is there anything in particular you'd like me to focus on? And they'll reciprocate and say, well, yeah, if you could talk about, I'm doing this thing now, or, me doing, such and such. So Jeff, what else you got for us?
Let's see. Well, what else is in the comments? I've been looking at the
okay
comments.
so we've got Kevin says you
rock.
Yeah, we've got I love, yes, Kevin does, he the audience is great, and I love how everybody is always talking together, so it's good.
No, I
don't quit your day job, Jeff.
Yeah.
That Jeff can sing. And it's always, again, so nice that people come in here and they they talk with each other, the community, the networking that goes on in a LinkedIn Live. And I think that's why I like it live, because it just feels like a community, as opposed to if I was just doing a video, I'm just pushing out that content. But when it's live, I truly feel it's us and everybody that is joining us. And then, of course, even if you're here for the replay later or for the podcast later, just know that you're still in our thoughts. We answer questions and comments. So always come back to the live, and we attend to that as well. We have greetings from sunny Michigan, and we got somebody's got to help this person so they can be seen, please, in the audience. Greeting. Oh, she's from South Africa. That's awesome. That's awesome. So we're going everywhere today, Jeff. We're going everywhere. Oh, we got Annette here. She's chatting with Stella. So that's so nice. We've got Debbie going, oh no, it's only 30 minutes. And then it's wonderful that everybody's traveling and going all over the place. So Jeff, we're kind of, coming towards the end of our live, and I just want to know, do you want to just sort of sum it all up for us and leave us with the takeaway message?
Well, I led with learning, so I'll finish with learning as well. Okay. It's amazing to me because you are the Google goddess, in addition to being the VEP VIP. That's that's easy, video easy peasy, very important person. Okay.
Thank you.
So, but you said something in the comments for this as well that I thought was amazing, because we've done this now, starting in 2021. We've done this now 13 times, and that's always 13 has always been a lucky number for me. And being the Google goddess, you went out there and you looked up, okay, lucky 13, and you came back with this. You said you found something in Italian that is the saying fare tradisi, I believe is the right way to pronounce that. Fare tradisi really means literally to do 13, but it also means hit the jackpot. So it's lucky
Mm,
13.
mm.
So I am so lucky to have done this with you. I am so lucky to have some of these people and get to know these people out here in the comments. And I will be, and as we always do, we'll be back to the comments and we'll speak some more. Okay, but I enjoy this so much, and I can't thank you enough, Jillian. Namaste.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And hey, it wouldn't be the jackpot if it wasn't this Las Vegas gal here. So it all flows together. It all flows together. So thank you, Jeff, for being here. Thank you for everybody in the audience today. I so missed you. And you are, you guys are it for me. That's what I absolutely loved about LinkedIn. I love that it's you and that you're all here. So thank you very much. And let's see if I can hit the right buttons and we can go out with style and grace today. Okay. Bye, everybody.